Hi, everybody. This is the baseball head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host. And this is another video on the anti-Met fan group known as WFAN. Now, welcome back to the Baseball Hut soon. Hopefully, you like this video. I've foregone the little music because I think at this point, this is beyond insanity. So we're not going to play that for this video. But as you know, before we end this video, I need you to hit that subscribe button. You want to see videos on me goofing on these clowns at WFAN? You need to hit that subscribe button. Now, I would mention that I've been doing videos on WFAN on a regular basis on this channel since August. WFAN has had a 35-year war against the New York Mets. And their mantra is whatever the Mets do is wrong. And even when they do it right, it's still wrong. Now, the Mets did not get off to a good start to their season. They've lost the first 3 games against the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers are everything the Mets want to be in the future. And I say that because the guy that built that club is running the Mets now. And that's David Stearns, the president of baseball operations. Okay? The Mets have been very honest about what they're trying to do here. They're trying to build from within. They're trying to put a competitive team. That's why they signed J.D. Martinez. He's not ready to come yet. He's not ready to contribute. Probably another week. And we know that there have been issues here over the last year or so with the pitching staff, and the offense has been very inconsistent. Now, the first 3 games, it was sort of a microcosm of really of last year. Really since September of 2022, it's a microcosm of how they pitched, in particular the starting pitching and the offense. Now, it's only 3 games to this new season. I must admit that I have not been able to watch the games because I've been working a lot. My schedule kind of got changed for the week. And I was off yesterday from any kind of baseball because I was celebrating Easter with my family. So I have not been able to get a real feel of the club for the first 3 days of the season, which is unusual for me because I can't remember. I don't think it's ever happened in May that I've not been able to watch the first 3 games of the season, or at least one of the first 3 games. So I'm a little bit behind everybody else in terms of watching this club. Now, I am not going to be going nuts until we get to game 40. If things don't improve, you'll hear from me. You'll know how I feel, believe me. But the clowns at WFAN have been nothing but badgering this club for 3 years since Steve Cohen has taken over the team. They've made all kinds of threatening comments. Boomer Esiason threatened Steve Cohen 3 years ago because he wanted to know about his hedge fund business. When David Stearns was hired to be the president of baseball operations, Greg Giannotti called for him to get fired after 4 days. And this video is about Greg, and this is about Boomer as well. They are the spear. They are the tip of the spear when it comes to attacking the Mets. And they do this sort of nonsense, good cop, bad cop nonsense. Boomer plays the good cop, and Greg plays the bad cop. We could talk about, I guess I could mention a couple of things in this video that is aside from this. Spaz Licata, also known as Sal Licata, after 10 innings of baseball, was screaming that the Mets should trade Pete Alonso. Now, Pete has gotten off to an okay start, okay? But he's complaining at the chorus. Ryan, well, who's he been complaining about? Pete. So he wants Pete traded after 10 innings of baseball, which is very strange. You have to watch the games. Stop reacting to everything you watch. I don't. That's why you do it after 40 games. You have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And I also noticed on Sunday evening, that WFAN put out they put podcasts on. They streamed it. They had live streaming. But I don't think they were. I don't think they were live. I think they were just premieres because they didn't talk to their YouTube audience. They were basically simulcasting it from different places. If they're going to do stuff like that, their voices will not be able to travel into the ether, which is YouTube. These hosts have zero relationship with the audience that I give myself as an example that I have. I have a very good relationship with my audience. And I don't have an audience of, say, on this channel, 1,700. I have an audience of over 7,000 subscribers on 3 channels that are Met fans. And I don't look at the crossover. I look at the numbers. YouTube doesn't do that. I don't have crossover. If I do 3 videos a day on 3 different channels, I take it as 3 different, and then 3 different people, the same person watching it, still goes into my pocket, whatever the revenue is. So they have zero relationship with the people on YouTube. If WFAN is going to try that, they're not going to grow anything. And they do other sports. They do the football, the basketball, the hockey. Anyway, WFAN has this habit of exaggerating everything. WFAN has a habit of condensing everything over 35 years into 3 games or to a pocket of the season. I would mention, they've all gone crazy for the Yankees 4-0 start, that it's a special season. Is it a special season for the Pirates? We're 4-0, and it's one of 4 out of the last 40 years that they've started 4-0. And also the Tigers have gone 3-0. Tigers haven't been seen in a long time as a contender. Is it special? No. And of course the Astros have started the season 0-4. And they've been a great team. But here we have from Greg Giannitti from Odyssey.com. Like I said, everything's encapsulated. 35 years, 60 years of Mets baseball encapsulated. Greg sounds off on Mets after miserable opening weekend. There's no, debate on how poorly the Mets played. Now, like I said in this video, I've not seen them play yet, as I recorded. The Mets started the season with 3 losses to Brewers, with the lineup looking mostly lifeless during the weekend while Rice Hoskins rubbed salt in the wound after benches and bullpens emptied in Friday's season opener. Greg sounded off on the weekend. That was to open Monday's show. Quote, now, again, these are guys that have been attacking the Mets since August, and longer than that. When the Mets hired David Stearns, Greg Giannitti called for the Mets to fire David Stearns after 4 days. He called the players schmucks back in February. Okay? Because he didn't know them. The embarrassment that I feel like a couple fan bases go through around here, it feels like it's only a couple teams that are capable of pulling that stuff off. It's generally the Mets and the Jets. Well, what about the 0-4 Astros? The league is laughing at the Mets and the Jets every single year, it feels like. You have no idea what you're talking about. This was one of those weekends. It wasn't just because they lost all 3 games. It was the way that it happened. Of course. Everybody's just disgusted with everything to do with the Mets. I'm not disgusted. Hardly disgusted. Now, I would mention, like I said, whenever the Mets do anything, it's always wrong. And when they do it right, it's always wrong. Give you an example, a recent one, is people like Greg Giannitti and a lot of the people at had called for Buck Showalter to be fired. And the day after he was fired, they all complained. Quite a few of them said, well, why did you fire Buck like that? There's no easy way to fire people. And this is the kind of weirdness that Mets can never win in the eyes of these people. The Jets are a different story, by the way. Jets haven't been to a Super Bowl in 50-something years. The Mets have been to the World Series quite a few years since then. Now, as I've been pointing out for the last, since August of 2023, WFAN has had a war against Mets first baseman Pete Alonso. Nothing Pete can do can satisfy them. They want Pete to be crawling in a fetal position when he's not playing. They don't like him for some reason. There is the reason why they don't like him. And I've been trying to figure it out. He's just a big goofball, this kid. And he's a great home run hitter, and he's a great run producer. And I can't understand why they hate him so much. They absolutely despise him. Spaz Licata has screamed that the Mets should trade him, even though he says nothing on SNY. This is from Boomer Esiason, a.k.a. Norman. His real name is Norman. Okay? He's a boomer, and he's a boomer. Boomer sounds off on Clueless Pete Alonso singing on stage at concert the night before Mets are swept. This is stupidity on the march. Pete Alonso went on stage to sing with Zach Bryan during a concert at UBS Arena on Saturday night. And Boomer made it clear that he did not like the look at all from the Mets' first baseman, especially when considering the weekend his team was enduring at the time. Boomer, this is not football. Okay, this is not one of 16 games that you used to play. Or when you with the Jets, you played half of that. This is 162 games. He's coming home. And he loves New York. I don't think he loves any of you guys. There was Shoeless Joe, and now there's Clueless Pete. Oh, I wonder who wrote that for him. Did Greg write that for him? Clueless Pete decides to go to a concert at UBS Arena, which he has every right to do. When it's right, it is wrong. See? You know what I mean? But if you want to talk about someone who doesn't understand the big picture, what's going on here, you got to understand. You had all off-season to go to parties and screw around and go to concerts and do whatever you want. He's a married man. You can't enjoy his night out. He's not gallivanting around the city. He's going to a concert. Country music concert. And nobody would say two bits about, oh, really? I think you would. But when you go on stage at a concert after you lost your first two games and have a game at 1:40 the next day, that's a bad look. And you're going to get roasted for it. I'm sorry, that's just not possible to a winning athlete with a winning DNA and everybody and somebody who wants to lead their team out of the abyss. Even when they do something right, it's wrong. This is just complete total ridiculousness. I mean, it's petty. There must be something they don't like about Pete. Is it because he's not a degenerate? I don't know. He doesn't come across as a degenerate at all. He comes across as a nice kid, loves his wife, loves animals, is great with the kids when they go and they meet him on the field. I don't know what the problem is, why they hate him so much. And this is another report. This was a different kind of report for you because now we're in the seriousness of the season. And I was thinking about this today, folks. I got a long season with these people to deal with them. And I'm going to be hitting them hard every single day. I hope I can keep my sanity. I would mention again, my DMs are open to Brandon Tierney. My DMs are open to Sal Licata and to WFAN and to the WFAN account. They can write to me whenever they want. They want me to go on their shows and debate them. Well, if I have the time, I will go on their shows and talk to them and debate them. No problem. With their take on how they treat this ball club of ours. But they won't do it. They just won't. Because they don't know me. And if they can't control the story, they hang up on you. We saw that with Carl Banks. And when they hang up on Carl Banks, then that nut job in the morning will attack you. Out of the blue. So, let me know what you think about this video. And of course, please subscribe to Baseball Hut 2. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.